Welcome back, mamas. Y'all, today we are going to talk grace. We are going to get into a little story that I have for you that hopefully will give you some perspective and shine some light on how you deserve some grace, mama. So let's get to it. Do you wish you had control of your days, that you had a rhythm, but instead feel overwhelmed, scattered, and like there's never enough time? You're in the right place. I'm Danielle, a recovering workaholic, wife, and stay-at-home mom of two girls. I've learned how to reclaim my time and find purpose and freedom so I can be present with my kids and feel like myself again. Here, we embrace where we are, but we don't stay there. So if you're ready to trade the chaos for clarity, the guilt for grace, and the endless to-do list for aligned flow, grab the kiddos a snack and toss in that laundry because I know you're multitasking, and let's do this because your time, your purpose, and you matter. Okay, mamas, today we are going to talk about some grace because as you may or may not have noticed, I don't know if you did not notice that I did not drop a podcast earlier this week on Tuesday. It is Thursday, and this is my first podcast of the week because life, y'all, mom life is sometimes a little bit hard. We all need some grace. And I have been leaning in to rest. I've been leaning into listening to God, to what I believe that I should be doing, as opposed to like the shoulds or this pressure or this like unneeded pressure that we sometimes put on ourselves, right? Because this is a podcast that I choose to put out. It is not paid content. Nobody pays me to be here. I like doing this. I love pouring into mamas. I love helping women and especially moms to make their lives better, right? I believe that I am equipped to do that. I believe that I went through a lot, and this puts me in a space where I am able to do that. And I have spent a lot of years, perfecting what has worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. I've tried literally so many different things and have figured out, what is working for me in my mom life, right? And so this past couple of weeks have just been very busy. They have been a lot. There has been a lot of emotions. There has been a lot of life events. There's just been a lot going on. And I decided to lean into that and to really be present, to be with my kids, be where I need to be, right? And to not put the pressure on myself to record a podcast. And then it's not just recording it, it's editing it and publishing it and the whole thing, right? So here we are today, and I want to talk about grace. And I want to read this book that I bought that I want to share with you that I think is hysterical, and hopefully you will too. And it's written like a children's book. It is a very short, easy read, or else I would not sit here and read you a whole book, right? But it is by Glenn Boozan, Glenn Boozan, okay? This was a New York Times bestseller, and it says, "There are moms way worse than you." That is what the title is. There are moms way worse than you. Irrefutable proof that you are indeed a fantastic parent. So I'm going to read this today to us because you might be exactly like me and you might need this in your life. So it says, "Congrats, you had a kid or two. Oh, what a time of joy. You got the crib, the car seat bib, you bought the perfect toys. You read the books, you did the work, you baby-proofed your stuff. But even so, a nagging thought, what if it's not enough?" We've all been there, right? What if I don't burp them right? Or what if I'm too strict? Or what if I buy diapers, then the diapers make them sick? Or what if they get tetanus? Or I don't dress them right? Or what if I strap them in the baby Bjorn's too tight? I've been there. Or maybe your head starts to spin. It's now a full-blown panic. They lose an eye, or even worse, their food is not organic. Or what if I'm not watching and they stumble off a cliff? Or if I pick the wrong preschool? What if, what if, what if? Whoa, okay, calm down, take a breath, deep exhale. It's absolutely normal feeling like you're doomed to fail. And though you'll make some big mistakes, remember this is true. When put into perspective, there are moms way worse than you. We get into it, y'all. You won't be worse than hamsters, mom, no matter how you try. Sometimes they eat their newborn pups. We still don't yet know why. A mom giraffe is pretty nice until its fetus drops. She'll birth a newborn baby calf, then kicks him till he walks. If someone calls you selfish, mom, and makes you feel like crud, tell them sometimes Dracula ants will suck their baby's blood. Whenever you feel guilty that you haven't cleaned the house, sexton beetles raise their kids in a decomposing mouse. That's me. I need that one. In a decomposing mouse. That's so gross. An eagle mom believes in survival of the strong. She'll let her little eagles fight until the death. How wrong? Panda moms are perfect unless they're blessed with two. Twins are hard, so they'll ditch one. It's terrible and true. For dinner time, a koala mom will feed her kids her poop. Remember that when you feel bad for giving yours fast food. When side by side with land use skinks, you'll look like the world's best mom. They'll eat their eggs if things get tough to avoid the drama. If a quokka mom comes face to face with dingoes in the wild, guess what she'll do to get away? That's right, she'll toss her child. At least you're not a cuckoo mom. Woo boy, that bitch is brazen. She hides her eggs in other nests so she won't have to raise them. Harp seals, oh, they're super cute. Maternally, they're frightening. 2 weeks after giving birth, they're out of there like lightning. In fact, a lot of new moms pull the disappearing act. Bunnies, black bears, snakes and lizards, sheeps and birds, and cats. Alaskan plovers, they don't even fake it like they care. 1 month after giving birth, they fly first class, Hawaiian Air. It's not just moms. Some dads suck too. They're not really all warm and snuggly. A pipefish dad will eat his kids if he thinks that they're ugly. Horses seem like super dads, but they're not the best. They'll threaten other horses' kids and kick them straight to death. The poison dart frog dad is less a hit and more a miss. To keep his eggs from drying out, he'll sometimes use his, I'm not even going to say it. So when you feel exhausted or there's too much on your plate, as long as you don't eat your baby, yeah, you're doing great. Raising kids is chaos. There's no ideal path. Like anything worth doing, motherhood will kick your you know what. When the panic rises and the pressure starts to mount, remember that you're trying and that is all that counts. Though others might make comments or judge from where they sit, the concept of a perfect mom is absolute bull, you know what. Let's celebrate the not so great and the wish it had gone better. Embrace the mediocre family times you share together. Because even if you drop your kid or accidentally curse, just know that when it comes to moms, you'll never be the worst. Okay, so not really a kid story, right? More for moms, for sure, but super funny and also very fitting for really what we need to hear sometimes. We need to give ourselves some grace. There are definitely worse moms than you, but there's also, you are doing a great job. There's also, we need to not put so much pressure on ourselves. There's also, what if I'm doing this, that, or the other thing wrong in every single stage of motherhood? I have been through it with them at a young age and all of those things that they were saying. But even as they're growing, you still wonder what you're doing wrong. You're still going to have a lot of times where you're doubting yourself, where you are feeling like you're not doing your best, where you are, going up against a wall, where you feel like, is this worth it? What have I done? Like all of these things that we tend to think, and we wonder how our mothers did it. We wonder how we're going to do it. And the truth of the matter is that you're trying. You're doing your best. And we all know that no one is perfect. And so no one is the perfect mom, but I like to say that you're the perfect mom for your child. You are the perfect mom for your child. And I truly believe that. And I truly believe that if you are trying, which I know you're trying, especially if you're listening to this podcast, I know you're trying. You're trying to be a good mom. You're trying to do all of the things, right? You're trying to not only be a good mom, but you want to fulfill a part of yourself so that you can be a better mom. That is what I want for you as well. And I know that it gets hard, and I know I'm not here to say that it's all roses, right? As you heard, I've had a rough week or so. It's been a rough week. It's been an emotional week. There has been a lot of good as well as some bad and some really, really hard and some really not great, right? All mixed in. And it's worth it though. It is worth it. You are doing an amazing job. You need to give yourself some grace. You need to intentionally think about what it is that you want in your life, what it is that you want to bring to your days, what it is that you want to bring to motherhood, as well as what it is that you want for yourself. It takes some intentional planning. It takes some intentional thinking. Sometimes it's much needed that you just stop and take a breath. Take a back seat, like take a step away. Take some time to intentionally think of how you'll address certain things instead of just going and feeling the pressure and giving into that and then, reacting and acting in such a way that you're not happy with. When you take a step back and you think about, okay, no, what is it that I actually do have to get done? What are the most important things to me? This is what I have done this past week. And I'm like, okay, the most important things to me are actually my family. I feel like I have to get this podcast done. I feel like I have to do this, but there's some things going on in my family right now that are more important that I need to address, that I need to take care of, and that I need to figure out. And doing the podcast is going to take me away from that. And so I am not going to do that. Right. And so that is why we're off an episode here. Okay. And so you need to give yourself that grace as well. And I hope that you take the lesson of, just taking some time to reflect, because when we reflect and also plan, right? I'm going to do an episode on planning here. I think I'll do an episode on planning next week because I keep talking about how important planning is. And it's been a while since I've done an episode on planning. So I will talk more about that next week, but just intentionally deciding what it is that you want for yourself and why, what it is that your family needs right now and why. Even in the moment, right? You can do this on a weekly basis, but you can even do it in the moment of the day, right? So sometimes we're all just too hard on ourselves. Sometimes we just don't give ourselves enough grace. And I just want you to know that you're doing amazing, that you are amazing. And I want you to know that I am here for you if you need me for anything. Hopefully you enjoyed the book. I'm sorry for what I didn't remember when I said I was going to read the book today. I knew I needed to read it. I should have read it prior. I didn't remember how many words there were in there that you probably don't want little ears to hear if you have little ones by. But the book is super funny and very much has made me laugh many times when I've needed to laugh and kind of give myself that reminder that everything doesn't have to be so serious, right? Like we tend to, yes, it's very serious business that we are raising these children and that we have to be there for them, but it's also a lot of pressure, and it can be a lot of pressure. And if you're anything like me and you're type A and you like to control all the things and you'd like for all the things to be perfect, we can put a lot more pressure on ourselves than even some others, right? And so it's good a lot of times for me to take a break and read something like that, or to do something that will actually give me a little bit of a reset, give me a little bit of perspective, give me a little bit of a, bird's eye view on the situation, and not so everything doesn't seem like it's closing in on me and everything doesn't seem so, oh my gosh, if this doesn't happen or if I don't do this, or, you just feel this pressure sometimes. And sometimes we just need a relief from that. And so hopefully this has been a little bit of that for you today, and give yourself some grace, mama, and I will meet you right back here next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right back here next week. Keep smiling, y'all.